Hello, everyone. It is Friday night. Crash is settling in for a nice little snooze while we do Friday Night Live. My name is Sharon Rogers, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And that's Crash stretching and saying hello. And hi, Sheila. Nice to have you on tonight. And we are nice and cozy in the craft room. It's chilly outside and it's wonderfully white. For those of you who don't know, I love snow, and that's what's inspiring tonight's projects. Crash doesn't mind snow because he only stays inside. But we have gotten a couple of small snowstorms this week, and then over the course of the next 8 or 9 days, we're going to get potentially 3 more, I think. So there's one that's supposed to come on Sunday that could give us 6 to 8 inches. And then the following Thursday, early predictions, which are, can be pretty off. Early predictions are 10 to 12 inches. And then another 10 to 12 inches on the following Saturday into Sunday. So we could be looking at a lot of snow here in the Northeast. And I say, bring it on. I've just learned how to snow blow. Yes, that's right. I didn't actually ever run one before. But I wanted to, my husband always takes care of it. And I have a son who's 28. 28. And I don't know, it's hard to keep track after a while. He's 28, and he works second shift, so he's not always around when my husband is snow blowing, because my husband will do it when he gets out of work, and then that's when Aaron is in work. And so I just said, you know what? Your father's getting older. You need to learn how to do this. So I made a tutorial for him. I did some video, and then I actually wanted to learn how to do it too, because I thought, oh, that might be fun on occasion, right? And so I now feel confident that I could do it, and looks like I might get some practice. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn down and we will get started. Let me move a few things out of the way, namely my keyboard, which I don't need anymore. And that can't go there, so let's see. All right, let's turn you down, and we'll do this. And we need to just, let's see, slide this over a little bit. Get this over here. That looks pretty good, I think. And tighten up the holder so it doesn't flop down on me. All right, so I just wanted to let you know, in case, while I'm waiting for a couple more people to join in, Stampin' Up! Did add some celebration items. So in addition to all the fantastic items that are in this brochure, which you've seen some of them, my favorite, the Friendly Seagulls, followed closely by the Toadstool Gardens. And I do like Pick a Season too. And then there's this beautiful paper, lots of good things, but their celebration additions are fantastic too, including this beautiful butterfly photopolymer set that went out of stock briefly this week and came right back in. I don't know if you know, Stampin' Up! Manufactures their own stamps, so that's helpful. But the bundle, so this is just the stamp set. The hybrid embossing folder, hybrid means it comes with dies as well, is on low inventory. And so if you were thinking of joining my subscription-based club called the Clubhouse, I am featuring the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. Say that 3 times fast to yourself. Nobody's going to hear you. Go ahead and do it. It's hard. Beautiful Butterflies bundle is the featured bundle for my first Clubhouse. So February's Clubhouse is the kickoff. And so if you want that bundle, you should be ordering it very soon or letting me know that you want it. If you order it as part of your subscription, so you subscribe to Clubhouse and then I'll send you an email saying you're subscribed and ask you if you want to add the Beautiful Butterflies bundle on. I will pay the shipping and handling and tax for that and ship it with your card kit. But otherwise, you can order it on your own if you don't want to wait and chance it being sold out. The deadline for joining or for subscribing to Clubhouse is the 12th if you want to get that Beautiful Butterflies card kit. Another really great addition is this Alphabet a la Mode dies. And I just, before I came on, I was just playing around because I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, I know some of what I'm going to do tonight, but I knew I was going to be talking about this, so I die cut those. These letters can go on cards, it can go on scrapbook pages, gifts, all sorts of things. So that's a really fantastic deal because for a $60 order, you get to add that $42 set for free. And there's some other really great things on here as well. All right, so that's that. Let's get started. I thought I would bring in my Winterly Treetops bundle. So the bundle is, it's got, there are stamps, and then there are dies. There's also a Birchwood 3D embossing folder that came as part of the suite that was offered with it. And then there were some other things. There were some gems. I don't think I'm gonna use gems tonight. But there were these natural tones linen thread too. So I'm just gonna use up some of that stuff. But I like snow, and so I thought I would do some white stuff tonight. I like the clean look of freshly fallen snow, and I like the clean look of white on white. So I'm going to start with a thick basic white card base. So it started as 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored and folded it in half at 4 1/4. I'm going to take a slightly smaller piece of just regular basic white. This measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so it's just a 1/8 of an inch smaller. I'm going to take that and I'm going to run that through my Birchwood 3D embossing folder. Now, I've seen a lot of people use this, and honestly, I like the look of the vertical lines, but if you know anything about birch trees, those lines don't run vertically, they run horizontally. So I'm going to have a card that's portrait. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way so that my lines run side to side. So this is a 3D embossing folder. So when I'm putting it through my machine, I just need my number 1 plate and my number 4 plate. And I'm going to put my embossing folder through first with the folded side through first. Now be sure if you're in the chat, do as Sheila did and say hello. Let me know what you guys are planning on doing this weekend. I've got a meeting tomorrow, and then I plan on shopping for some Super Bowl food. And I plan on cleaning up this mess of a craft room, which I know my friend and teammate Nancy's planning on doing as well, because she told me so. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm just going to adhere this. Now, most of this is going to get covered up, but I just wanted a little something in the background. This card is all about texture. And it's also about my glue bottle getting gummed up a little bit. I think I need to change the cap out in here in my little holder, because I think the cap has a lot of kind of gunky glue in it, and I think that leads to this being, getting gummed up a lot. All right, so we've got some glue on there. Let's put this, it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller, so it's going to leave very little showing of that base card. But we've got some texture showing. Can you see that? Beautiful, beautiful texture. Okay, so I'm going to set that card, set that aside for just a second. I'm going to bring in, oops, here's some washi tape stuck on my folder. I'm going to bring in this die that is from the Winterly Treetops die set. So it cuts out some birds, we have some branches, but this is the one I'm going for. And I think I saw that there needed to be a couple of spots where the paper was still stuck in there from the time before when I did something with it. All right, so yeah, that looks good. I'm going to bring in another piece of basic white here, and I want it to be the same exact size as my die, and that is 3.5 by 5 inches. And the way this die is made, it gives you a border. So if you have something that's a little bit larger, let me see if I've got my, oops, I forgot about how this die works piece. Let's see, oh yeah, I do. So I forgot that it doesn't actually cut the whole thing out. What it does is it cuts out some of this stuff, but you have this left over. So whatever, I mean, I just want a very, very thin border because I want my birch to show. But if you wanted a thicker border, you just make it wider. It's up to you, but you gotta decide on that first. I'm gonna bring in my embossing machine again, my die cutting machine. I mean, it is an embossing machine, but we're gonna die cut with it this time. So since we're die cutting, we need number 1 and number 2. We need a number 3 plate. Ooh, that one's really, really warped. You know what? I'll force it through. It'll be fine. And then I've got my die with my piece of white there, and I'm putting it on an angle because this is a very hard edge, and it's better for your machine if you don't put hard edges through. So if you've ever got something that's rectangular or you've got a real straight edge, don't put that all the way through. Just on, you know, you want to offset it a little bit, put it on an angle. All right, and because I had it on an angle, you probably didn't hear that famous pop of it going through. I'm going to very carefully take off. Now this is a pretty intricate die, and because it's so intricate, it does take a little bit just to manipulate it so it comes out nicely. It likes to stick in there. So all I do is I decide I need to either push the middle through and the outside up, or I have to do vice versa. So I think I'm going to punch, pull up. No, I'm not. I'm going to pull up on the parts that I want to come up, that stay, and then I'm going to push down on the other parts. And it just takes a little bit of time. It's not so bad. I'm just trying to be extra careful because I'm doing this on camera. The long edges definitely come up a little bit easier. And let's see, let's do this. I forget which way I'm pulling. So I just need to be consistent here. And if it weren't worth it, probably wouldn't do it, but I think it is worth it. Now I would probably recommend running it back and forth through twice, especially if your plates are a little bit kind of scarred up like mine were and warped. You'll just have a better experience if you do that. Let's see, here it comes. There we go. So we have that. And so we just got a lot of little pretty white branches. And I know that there aren't branches that look white in the wild like this, except for when they're snow covered, which we all know I like the snow, right? So there we go. So now I need another piece of basic white that is the same size, 3.5 by 5. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing in a second, but let's just look and make sure I got all the little pieces out. I did. All right, so that one's good. I'm going to now take some mini dimensionals and apply them in here because I want some nice dimension going on. Hi, Ruth. I'm glad you found me. What's the weather like in Florida? I have a couple friends headed down there. A couple friends and their coworkers also heading down to Florida next week, well, at the end of next week. One of them was kind enough. She's going to the Lake Placid area. I don't know how far that is from you, but she was kind enough to show me that while we are having probably lots of snow next weekend, she is going to be sunning herself in 80-degree weather. She made sure I knew that. But you know what? I happen to like it snowy. So I don't think it had as much effect on me as she was hoping it would. Getting close to 80s, yeah. What is it at night, Ruth, in the beautiful state of Florida right now? What are you experiencing for temperatures? I think one more, a couple more, maybe near the corners will do it. One corner. I should probably do it on all the corners. That's close enough to a corner. And one more right here. 50s at night. Well, we don't even get to the 50s during the day, so our nights are nice and warm. But they're not snowy, or at least not anymore. You did get some snow, but where's my friend Reba? Reba, you on tonight too? Reba lives in Texas, and she got some snow too. Said the kids loved it, which I'm sure because they never really get to see it. We were talking, some friends and I were talking the other day about how kids these days, they don't have it as good as we had it when it comes to snow days because they find out so early now. All right, I've taken the backs off of that, but I don't want to put it on just yet. I want to bring in a blending brush and get some Pool Party because Pool Party is going to be in my color palette here. And I'm going to just add in some Pool Party here. There we go. Just want some stuff to set off a little bit. So if I were to put this down, you can see that it gets set off a little bit more. All right. And so now I have the dimension. I get a little bit of shadow because I've just popped that up enough. So let's see. I think I'm going to have that be up. Now, the paper, the designer series paper that coordinates with this, also beautiful, has a couple of different kinds of birds. We've got, my favorite ones are the ones that are this color, but I've got a couple of different forms of those too, and I'm going to let you pick. So we've got, an hour and a half. That's not very close, is it? So we've got this on a fir tree, or we've got it on a berry tree. So which bird should, you know what? I think this is more wintry. I think I'm going to do this. Now the dies that come with this have some bird dies that cut out. They actually cut out this one with the berries. I could die cut that. That would be faster. However, I really do like this bird right down here. So I'm gonna just fussy cut this guy, I think. And I'm not gonna, it doesn't have to be perfect, because even when you're die cutting, you're gonna get a little bit of a border. And what color is the border here? The border is white, so it's not really gonna show up much on the background. So I can take a little bit less time worrying too much about my fussy cutting skills, just because I'm putting it on a white background, or I should say a mostly white background. So, of all of you that are watching tonight and chiming in, so far that's just Sheila and Ruth. Are you guys football fans? Are you going to be watching the Super Bowl? And if so, who are you cheering for? Alas, the days of cheering for the Patriots, well, they're on hold and have been for a little while. We had our run, so I'm thankful for that. I can't, I should not complain, because we had many, many, many years. We had a great dynasty, and maybe someday we'll get back there. I hope it's before too long, but you never know. I don't know who I want to win in the Super Bowl. I know there's a bit of a potential scandal brewing with the officials and the Kansas City Chiefs, but I don't know. Having come from Deflategate and people making a lot out of maybe something, maybe nothing, I don't know. Reserve a little bit of judgment, which is a little hard, because who started this whole thing with the referees? This is my beloved Tom Terrific. I do trust his opinion, and the calls, he had every reason to wonder, but But then I know there's some of you that don't care a lick about football. And so you may spend this time crafting on Sunday. Truth be told, I probably will too. I'll do both. I'll take regular breaks, because I can listen to the game while I craft. All right, I really should have just done the one that I could die cut. But I like this one better, so to me, I made the decision that it was worth it. So now I have to finish it. I've gotten this far. And just have a little bit more. I've asked some questions. All right, Ruth wants, oh, you fussy cut 2 sheets for your Christmas cards. You were probably glad when that was over. She wants the Chiefs to win. Sheila, who do you want to win? I know Sheila enjoys football. She especially enjoyed it when the Patriots were playing, like most of us up here. All right, so I've got this, and I can put that right on there. Look at how pretty that looks. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. We need a sentiment here too, though. So let's go ahead and bring in, I think I might emboss the sentiment because I like it in white. A friend like you brings me happiness. We're thinking of you always. Let's see, maybe I want to put it on this way. I think I want to put it on this way. So what? And do you see how that pool party in the back just sort of makes it stand out a little bit more? It's a little bit more green than pool party, mostly because I had, I think, summer splash on the brush too. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. So we get more height again. I've got my little ones out, so I might as well just hang with my little ones. Sheila does not care who wins. I hope it's a good game, because good games are always more fun to watch than blowouts. There was one game, one Super Bowl in the not too distant past that will go down in history as a really bad blowout for my team in the first half and a really awesome comeback in the second half. That was an amazing, amazing game. And what was funny was I was over at a friend's house and we were watching. And I don't know if this was one of the first years that they decided they were going to stream it also. But they did. And then, we're all kind of resigned to losing because it was just a blowout. And then all of a sudden, we start making a little bit of a comeback. Oh, shoot. I said I wasn't going to do vertical. I might have to change my little direction here because I want my birch trees to go in the right direction. And I forgot about that. So anyways, they started making a comeback and basically they broke the internet because everybody was going crazy. And I don't know what they were doing, but we lost connection. And so my husband had his phone, and that was the only way we knew what was going on. It would come back and go back out again. And here we go. That's better. So now I have just a little bit of birch going, just enough to give it some texture. So that was really exciting. And we didn't really know what was going on. We missed all the major plays because stupid internet. But it was fun nonetheless. All right, so there we have that. We just need something. I'm going to go ahead and bring in A Friend Like You Brings Me Happiness. I was going to emboss this on white on this little strip, but I think what I might do instead is just stamp it in green, in shaded spruce, because that's the green that is in my branches here. Let me get out some shaded spruce. Hopefully we can stamp it straight because I've already cut my paper. Let's see what we got here. It's a little high. Let me come over here and try it again. Probably should have done it in black, but that's okay. It's nice and subtle. That'll work. That will work. We're just going to put that right up there. Again, I think we need some dimensionals to make it stick. I'll put two little ones because I'm too lazy to get out the big ones. Two little ones on each end and one little one in the middle here. A friend like you brings me happiness. Oh, before I stick it down, let's go ahead and bring in some of that twine. Oh, I just noticed that my phone gave me a low battery, the first low battery warning, but I caught it before it froze. Let's see, and we can kind of put this in here. Let's see if we can just Let's ball this up and see if we can just put this under here. And it is caught in there. I can't tug on all of it, so it looks like it's good to go in there. You want to just tuck some ends in, you can. Just adds a little something. And then a friend like you brings me happiness. And so this is what I'm going to do on the inside. Now, I didn't have the forethought because I don't know. I never seem to when I want to. I didn't have the forethought to put adhesive sheets on the back of this. So I'm going to have to just do a little bit of little teeny tiny touches of glue here. I'm going to put the word snow inside. A friend like you brings me happiness. And I'm going to hand write something right above the snow. And I'm going to send this to either someone who loves snow as much as I do, or somebody who doesn't like it at all. Because, you know, they would appreciate this coming from me. Especially if they know how much I love snow. You know, I find that it's a whole lot easier to like it down here in southern Maine. I mean, I liked it when I lived up in northern New Hampshire too, but it's a little bit easier down here because it's not as bitterly cold generally. Sometimes it can be pretty cold, but not like up there. Walking to school, high school across the river, across the bridge, across the river. Hair that was slightly damp from the morning shower, freezing, so it's stiff as a board. So we're going to take my pool party Stampin' Right marker, just like snow. A friend like you brings me happiness, just like snow. And there's my card. It would look really nice with some bling on it. I'm gonna bring in my favorite bling for snowy cards, and that's just the basic rhinestones because they're clear. They're almost like snow. They sparkle like diamonds, just like when the sun comes out after a snowstorm or an ice storm. I don't really like ice storms except for the day after. The day after an ice storm is beautiful. Would you not agree? Let's put that one there. And let's put the medium one right up here. Just add some little bling. And there we have it. A friend like you brings me, there's one of Crash's hairs, little orange hair right there. Brings me happiness. I think that's a little crooked. Let's straighten it out. There we go. Just like snow. All right, and let me just turn you back around. Ooh, come on down. Here we go. Here we go. So thank you so much for joining me and Crash. Oh, he meowed. He said, leave me alone. But we're happy to have you. And if you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to subscribe to Clubhouse, you have just a few more days to do it. The last day to do so is February 12th. So I hope to see you very soon in person, if not on another video. We have Tune In Tuesday coming up next week. And it's a Technique Tuesday. It's the last one for embossing. So hope you can join me for that. And I will see you. Have a great weekend and stay warm, except for Ruth. Stay cool. Bye.